midweek update. This is all about the employee. So, because again, MSP in the Midwest, trying to grow, trying to get out of operator mode, for real. So, I have someone working for me right now, very young, just turned 21 last weekend. And first week, just didn't think it was going to work out. Second week, kind of saw some, glimmers of hope. But this week, much better. I think for some people, it just kind of, everybody's different. And, jumping into an office job like this for people who've never really had a lot of experience in an office job, it's a little nerve-wracking. And I think that he's slowly kind of coming around. And so, I listen to a lot of self-help stuff, a lot of books, Jim Rohn, Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, just the classics. And so, a lot of Audible. So anything that's in the Nightingale Conan collection is top shit. So, I've recently heard that when you're in, when we're business owners, we're not really in the business of making money. We're in the people business. And so if we want to get rich, and this is for the people who want to get rich, man, because I want to get rich. Like I told you, I want a Lamborghini. I want the house at the lake. I want all that stuff. I want a winery, bed and breakfast, all that stuff. And a million other dreams. But in order to do that, we have to be able to provide a product or service to the masses. And once I hit $150,000, I was at a point where I was just overworked. Too much going on. Just too much going on. I couldn't, I needed help. And then also, the reason why I started this business is so I can, reap the benefits of owning a business. And so from 2011 till 2025, so 14 years of being an operator only. And, I've done pretty well for myself. Like I said in the first video, before I got the office, living the high life, man. Restaurants anytime I want, bar anytime, not the bar, I don't go to the bar, but, go drink anytime, go to a winery anytime, go to a bed and breakfast somewhere anytime, just do what I want anytime. I got the money for it, But at some point, man, it's you just gotta remember, or I guess have to put it back in your brain that you can't do this forever, and you shouldn't be an operator forever. You should kind of, let somebody else do that. So again, back to we have to provide a product or a service to the masses. And so I'm providing a service, which is IT support, but there's a limit to the amount of IT support that I could comfortably provide. Because when I have 3 customers that need help right now, and maybe 2 of those are in an emergency mode, how do I prioritize that and get all 3 of those done at the same exact time? I can't. So going back to what I just said, in order to be rich, you have to provide a product or service to the masses. So if you're an NBA player or an NFL player, you're providing your service to the masses in that NBA game. Televisions from coast to coast are seeing you. You're providing your product or service to the masses. Same thing goes with candy bars. You're selling those candy bars in every store. You're providing that service to the masses. So in order for a local provider to provide their services to the masses, we need help. We need employees. And just going back to the thing I said at the beginning, we're not in the business of making money. We're in the people business. And sometimes what you have to do is when you find someone that's not really, who is not you, not you. They're not. They don't have the drive. They don't have the experience. They don't have that whatever it is. You just have to be patient with them. And I know I hate being patient. I hate it. I want everything right now. I want everybody I want to dispatch him on calls and just go have him just knock that stuff out right now. I hate this part of it all. But it's a very important step. It's a very important process, not just for him, but for me as well. For me, in that that I need to learn how to be more patient, and I need to learn that not everybody's coming in with that drive. Like, for example, I catch him on his cell phone all the time, and it's like, okay, it's probably because that's my fault, because I haven't given him enough to do. So this is a learning process for everybody. It's a learning process for me on trying to learn how to be a boss, because I'm in the people business now. So I noticed that he was, and the same thing happened. I don't fault anybody for anything in life, because especially people who are trying. But when he first started, I noticed that he was wearing the same clothes, multiple times per week. And again, I've been there. And when I was there, I didn't have anybody to help me. But on Monday, I gave him some money so he could buy himself some clothes. And before, he was just wearing black to the office every day. And so we met at a client's today, and he had on a blue shirt. I was like, holy shit, this is it right here. This is it. He is slowly transforming into what I need him to be, but it's me being patient and nurturing his current state, and nurturing his dream, and just being there for him. Like, I'm kind of a dick, but you know what? You have to be a dick sometimes. Just like today, I got on him because he sat down at a computer, and there was somebody's granola bar that was literally sitting right under the keyboard, and he just started using the keyboard, his hands and fingers all over top the granola bar. And that sounds like some small time shit, but imagine if you walked up to your computer, or you returned to your desk, and you saw some dude that you don't know who it is, and he's hovering over your coffee, or he's hovering over your lunch. Dude, that's gross. That's gross shit. So I'm trying to beat that shit out of him, slowly but surely. And then also, then he sat down, but he sat down on the girl's coat that was in her seat. Okay? These are small time things that you have to work on people with. Like, hey man, grab her jacket, put it on the back of the thing. Because again, I would be pissed. I guess I'm different. I would be pissed if I returned to my desk and somebody was sitting on my coat, wrinkling it all up and shit, and their ass all over my coat. I don't know this person. I don't know if they washed their ass this morning. I don't know if they got shit stains. I don't know none of that, dude. I just assume you do. So again, it's the small things you got to work on people with, and your industry might be different. I want to try to get to the part where I'm not micromanaging people, and I don't want to do that. I just want to be able to give them a task and let them go. But for some people, it might take a little longer than others. So it's just it's an exercise in patience for myself, and just going back to the fundamentals for myself, which are, in order for me to be able to have him go out and make money for the company, and make enough money for the company that we can pay him and still keep going, that's the plan. Because I've been listening to some big time shit, some big willy shit, where and just if you're a small business and you're growing and you're all by yourself and you're kind of at this level where I am, the $150,000 level, from what I understand, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. At $150,000 in sales, that's about the time where you start hiring employees. And then what you have to do is you have to get into a mindset that this employee that I have, he needs to make the company $125,000 a year in order for me to pay his salary. Then we can bring on more people. So by the time we get to maybe 3 to 5 people, we should be at $1 million in sales. Then once we get to $1 million, then the next goal is 3 million. And then 3 to 5 is when businesses start to get stagnant. because they're not asking their clients for more sales or more referrals, but the business's cost of goods are going up. The employees get paid more every year. The cost of software or whatever that you're into, the widgets and gadgets, those prices go up. So I'm not trying to think about the 3 million to 5 million right now. All I'm trying to do is think about fostering this new person and letting him know that, you know, at least once a week he's doing a good job, even if he ain't, just to give him that confidence that he needs, that he can do this job. Because I do see, you know, the spark shows up every single day, on point. He's doing this not only for himself, but he told me he's doing all this for his parents. And my guess is so that his parents will be proud of him. So a lot of motivation behind him to get him up in the morning and go, even though that he's walking into a mountain of adversity. A mountain of adversity. You have no idea what this, if you're in IT, you know what I'm talking about. You're not dealing, so there's, and I know I'm a dick for saying this, but there's inside dogs and outside dogs. And I know I'm a dick for saying this, but, you know, outside dogs, you know, kind of like the dudes who, you know, just, you know, never really, like, you know, finished high school, all that stuff, hard workers, blue collar, all that stuff. But, you know, they're out cussing and, you know, spitting and smoking and whatever the hell. But when you're in a business environment, you're now an inside dog. So you have to dress nice, present yourself nice, speak nice, you know, be very polite and courteous at all times. That's inside dog. So I'm trying to help him to unleash more of the inside dog. So, and it's going to be a process. I believe in this kid. I really do. So I think that, you know, I think with me being patient and me, you know, fostering this and just, you know, really taking my time and really making sure that he gets it, I think in the end, it's going to be a win-win for everybody. And that's really what we're supposed to be out here doing, is we're not supposed to be in the win-lose game. We're supposed to be in the win-win game, where I win and he wins, my clients win, everybody wins. So you might even call that win-win-win. And that's something that Jim Rohn, he talks about a lot. It's got to be a win-win for everybody, or, you know, somebody's going to get hurt in this situation. And if you're out here hurting your clients or hurting your employees, dude, that's a disaster. So almost to the office. I'm starving. I normally don't do this, but I'm gonna stop at Arby's here. So I'm a MSP in the Midwest. I'm up to 150,000 in sales, and maybe do about 160, 170 this year possibly. Just hired an employee, just got an office. The employee's only been with me for about 3 weeks. So the whole purpose of this channel is to document what it looks like to go from a person who works at home for like 10 years or whatever, to getting an office, to getting an employee, to getting multiple employees, and reaching that goal, that $1 million in sales goal. And so that's what this channel is all about. Paradigm Escape is, in my eyes, what I feel that is I'm breaking out of all of the chains that were put upon me, all the generational curses. I'm the only one that ever got out of the hood, from friends, family, anybody that I know. Nobody that I know has made it out. So I made it out a long time ago, and now it's time for me to make it out to the next level. So that's it for me today. If you would, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.